What's going on, World Family? Welcome to session 2 of Journey of the Mindset. First off, before we begin, I just want to thank everybody for supporting me through Journey of the Mindset in session 1. I think that it was a very, very good experience. I had a lot of good guests on my show, and I'm really, really happy to have been able to give you guys all of the information that I was able to give to you guys in session 1. So session 2, the focus is pretty much going to stay the same, and that's me interviewing people and giving you some of my life experiences on the things that I've been through during my journey. And one thing that I want all of my Journey of the Mindset listeners to get out of this is that you're not in it alone. No matter how hard your journey is, don't give up. Reach out to people, reach out to the circles of support, reach out to your foundation of support. Don't just give up and say, hey, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I'm just going to commit suicide. I'm sick and tired of fighting. This is what life is about. Life is about things being hard to get. If you got things easy in your life, do you really think you'll appreciate it? Let's take the time to really think about that. As much as we would like to walk that road that was traveled on the most, we tend to lose focus on the road that we are trying to get to. So what do I mean by that, right? A lot of us will choose that road that we see the footprints in that multiple people went on, right? In order to live our dreams. But when we look towards the right and we see that road that doesn't have that many footprints on there, what we tend to do is we tend to back away from that road. We tend to say, you know what? I'm going to go the more comfortable route where I see more footprints. Because if a lot of people walk through that road, then there must be a whole bunch of people that were successful. So I'm not going to go for the road that has less footprints. So let's think about that, right? I was reading this book and it was talking about the moves and how somebody that's considered to be a 1%er, somebody that's part of the 1%, actually makes it. And people that are part of the 1%, and for those of you guys, let me just backtrack a little bit that don't know what the 1% is, right? The 1% are the people that actually make it in life. They come up with this idea, they take and turn their dreams into reality. And this is what my focus is I want people to understand is that you can take your dreams, the things that you were dreaming about, you can turn that into reality. So first off, I just want to say this, where am I at right now? For those of you guys that are watching this on YouTube, you see this beautiful view, right? I'm actually in Peekskill, New York. What you hear in back of me is the Metro North train station. But I said to myself, for the first episode of Journey of the Mindset, session 2, I want it to be different. I don't want to have the traditional podcast where I'm sitting at the table and I have 2 microphones on me and my guests. I want to have it in a beautiful space. I want to do different things. I want to be able to stand out from other podcasts. That's my dream. So what I'm doing right now is I'm taking and I'm turning my dreams into reality. Now, let's talk about my story and my journey to what led me up to Journey of the Mindset. I got tired of feeling the things that I felt. I remember me sitting down one time on the couch in my apartment, and I just woke up and I just burst out crying. And I'm talking about, it's not your ordinary type of crying tears. It's actually the crying tears, snot and everything. And it was because I was fed up with life. I said that my life cannot continue to go on the way it's been going. The things that were occurring in my life couldn't continue to occur. The people that I had in my life couldn't continue to be in my life. And one thing that I want to talk to you guys about is understanding the people that you have around you. Understanding, are they part of your journey? Are these people part of the people that you want there at the end of your journey? And the question, right, that remains is, who will be there at the end of your journey? A lot of us will go on these journeys with these people that we call friends, with these people that we call brothers and sisters, with these people that we call family. But a lot of those people that we consider those titles for, they won't be there at the end. They can't take your success. They won't be able to understand your plan on getting to where it is that you're trying to get to. So there's a lot of hard choices that you might have to make. And a lot of those hard choices that you might have to make is separating yourself from the crowd. Now, what do I mean by separating yourself from the crowd? I mean that your norm cannot no longer be your norm. Now, listen, if you got a great support system, if you have a great community of people that really want to see you succeed, and every time that you call on them, they're there to help you, they're there to give you feedback, that's great. But I'm talking about the naysayers that you know deep down inside don't believe in your journey. What do you do with these people? Do you recycle them? Do you simply just walk up to them, tap on them, and say, listen, you're not working no more. You're not working for my life. See, we have to understand that when we're working towards a dream, or when we're working towards something, or when we're fighting for our life, that's exactly what it is. We cannot allow for other people to be in our life that does not support our journey, that will hinder the process to you living your dream. As bad as you want to breathe, as bad as you smell this air, as bad as you need this air, this oxygen to breathe, is as bad as you need to want to live your dream. It's hard, people. It's very, very hard. Every day there's going to be an excuse on why not to do. Let me say that to you one more time. Every day there's going to be an excuse on why not to do. But the question that you need to ask yourself is why not to do it? Why not get up and go to the gym? Why not get up and make that video that you want to make? Why not get up and walk into that office and let your boss know, listen, I've been here for a very long time. I've been working very long hours. I've been working very hard. Can I please get a raise? Can I go after that promotion? There should be nothing when it comes down to your life that should be stopping you. That should be stopping you from living your dreams. One thing about me that I always have a problem with, and you guys probably see it in a lot of my videos, is I do a lot of stuttering and I mix around my words. So when it came down to me making videos, I never wanted to make videos. I more so just hid behind Twitter, text, making videos where I would just have to write in. And writing wasn't a strong subject of mine either. Remember, if you guys go back to the first podcast in session 1, when I'm talking about my struggles with a learning disability and having dyslexia and things of that nature, it was very, very difficult for me to even be able to write. So every time I wrote something, I always had to rely on the next person to look it over to make sure that all of the grammar and all the spelling was correct. But one thing I was thinking about the other day was this. With my dyslexia and graduating elementary school on a 3rd grade reading and writing level, having a very difficult time in junior high school, and then moving over to high school and having even more of a difficult time, I could have gave up. I could have just allowed the world to hand me whatever it is that they wanted to hand me, to put me in places that they wanted to put me in. I remember I was in this program, was called a VEST program at Bronx Community College. And I thought that it would be like the best thing for me after I graduated out of high school. I was going to be able to go there. I was going to be able to experience college. And when I got there, I'm like, this is not a real college class. This is not a real way a college is supposed to function. And I wound up quitting the program. And I learned later on down the line that a place that I was working at, which was a day-hab facility, a rehabilitation program for people with developmental disabilities, that the program that I was in, the VEST program that I was in at Bronx Community College, was actually going to wind up putting me in a day-hab facility with people with developmental disabilities. Now, I had a learning disability, not a developmental disability. So if I didn't say to myself, you know what, this right here is not where I'm supposed to be, and leave that situation, who knows where I would have ended up. But this is what I mean about you fighting for your life. You taking the time and you recognizing what's for you and what's not for you. But I also had to understand that by me taking myself out of that program, things are going to get a little harder for me. Things are going to get a little tougher for me because I don't process things the way everybody else process things. I didn't process things as faster as everybody else processed things. So now, here I am making this decision not to go back to the program and actually going out into the real world to get a regular job. And that's the funny thing, is that I started working this job with these kids. I worked there for quite some time, and then I was asked to be a supervisor, and I couldn't take the job. I couldn't take the job because it entitled what? Reading and writing. My weakest subjects: English, reading, and writing. And I turned down the position. And I started to sit there and I started to see that I'm just letting life pass me by. All I'm doing is going to work, stopping fights, and going home. Now, in all reality, the year went by very, 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 very fast. I was there for 5 years, and the years definitely went by very fast. But I just felt like I was in a position that was never going to go anywhere, that I was going to constantly just lag, come to work with that same hunched over back, that same hunched over feeling. You know, some of you guys go to work every single day that way. Y'all go to a job, travel that same road, and y'all hate working that job. But what are you going to do about it? So what did I do? I went to college. I went to challenge myself. College was not something that I can honestly say was very easy. It was very, very difficult. Even my first semester with my sociology professor, which, like I said, if you go back to to episode 1 and session 1 of Journey of the Mindset, you'll be able to hear my whole story about that. But there were things that were constantly just trying to knock me down. There were moments where I did give up. It took me a long time to graduate with my bachelor's in criminal justice and science from college because I just kept giving up. The work was hard. It was very difficult for me. I got burnt out. I got tired, and there were other things happening in my life. One thing that I can tell everybody is this. You will always have the thoughts of stopping something. You will always have the thoughts of not wanting to be a part of something when you're on your journey. What needs to matter to you the most is how bad you want it. There are going to be setbacks. There are going to be times where you're going to say, I've had enough. What I want to get ingrained into your head is that whatever comes easy to you, you will not appreciate it as much as something that has come hard. Let me say that to you one more time. Whatever comes easy to you, you will not appreciate as much as you would appreciate something that comes hard. At your worst, you can be at your best. During tragedy, you can shift and you can change. During sadness, you can breathe. You have so much power and ability within yourself that if you just took the time to act like your life depends on it, you would be living that dream that you have always wanted to live. My story is my story. I own my story. I own my journey. I love the experiences that I've been through. Not one experience will I ever say, hey, you know what? I wish I never went through that, because it made me the person that I am today. It gave me the courage to wake up and tell my story. One of the struggles that I always had, and I don't know if any of you guys go through it, one of the struggles that I've always had was, what is it that other people are going to think about me? Like, are they going to be mad at me? Are they going to want to hang out with me anymore? Are they not going to like me? Am I ever going to be able to grow my audience? I can't get past 500 subscribers. I can't even get to 20 subscribers. I don't have every excuse and everything in the world. But what are you willing to fight for? It's not going to be easy. You're going to have your moments. You're going to have your moments where you're going to say, I give up. I don't want to do this no more. And whoever tells you that that's not okay for you to have those moments are wrong. It's okay for you to have those moments. And I always tell people, a setback is a setup for you to start all over again to do it right. One thing that you cannot do is do the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Einstein said, that's insanity. There's so much greatness inside of us, but we tend to let the things that happen to us affect us to the point where we can't move. So I want you to think about the things that you've been through in life, and every time you've been through something that has messed with your head, that has met with your mental, I want you to picture you taking a ball and chain and you clamping it on your legs. You clamping it on your arms. You clamping it around your neck. And now you're walking around with all of these chains like a mommy or like a zombie. That's what everybody's into now, right? A zombie. And you're just walking slow, back and forth, back and forth in pain. This cloud is over your head and it's raining down on you every single day. You only get that 3 seconds of peace when you open up your eyes for the first time in the morning. I want you to picture you walking around every single day in your life, unhappy, with ball and change in a storm over top of your head. Now, I'm not an expert in life, but I know for a fact that you don't want to live that way. I know for a fact that you want to succeed. I know for a fact that you want to be great. I know for a fact that you have dreams. But you're just not owning your story. You're just not earning your story. The glory is there. But are you willing to travel to get to the top of the mountain? Or do you want to just give up and be what Napoleon Hill speaks about in his book about drifters? Do you want to just skate through life with things happening to you? Do you want to be sitting as an elder in your apartment saying, I wish or I should have done? Or are you ready to earn and own your story so that way you can move to the next level? I had to own my story of pain. There were things that were done to me when I was a child, and I still have to face the person that victimized me, that turned me into a victim every single day, all the time. Some of us have been violated in ways and has never said a word, but still have to deal with the person that has hurt us or put us in a victim situation, a victim mode. Some of us are burying our souls in our heart in a relationship that we know that doesn't have potential anymore. Some of us are listening to people tell us their opinions and thoughts on who we are, but we won't even believe ourselves. We won't even believe the things that we're telling ourselves. That, my friends, are not fighting for your life. That's not fighting for your life. Fighting for your life is by you accepting the mistakes that you make, fighting as hard as you can to live your dream, breathing your dream, living your dream, meaning that when you get off of work, you're working on your dream. Before you go to bed at night, you're working on your dream. When you wake up in the morning, you're working on your dream. You setting that picture of what life is going to be for you in 10 years. But you have to own and earn your story. Before I'm going to share this with you. And this is one of the experiences that I had over the past month of August. So I ended Journey of the Mindset, session 1, the beginning of August. And I wanted to take some time away from social media. I wanted to take some time away from doing videos, doing a podcast, because I felt like I was at a place in my life where I needed to recenter myself. And it's okay for you to do things like that. If you feel like everything that you're doing is starting to hit you at one time, continue working, but you have to take some time to recenter yourself. Because the thing is, when you get emotional, you don't want to start making emotional decisions that might hinder the process. So I said to myself, for the month of August, I wanted to recenter myself. I wanted to go on journeys. I wanted to have conversations with people. I wanted to hike. I wanted to just breathe. And that's what I did. And I had a few conversations with people from the past, present, and people that's going to be in my life from moving forward. I made connections with people that I didn't think that I was ever going to make connections with. I sat down, I spoke to my mentor, I mentored a young man in the process as well. And one thing that I learned during my month off, if that's what you want to call it, life is beautiful. Life is not pain. Life is not about setting you up to fail. Life is about how bad you want it and how far you're willing to go to get it. Life is not about selfishness. Life is about being selfless. Life is not about violence. Life is about love. Life is not about pushing away. Life is about bringing in. Life is not about being incompetent. Life is about teaching. So many great conversations that I had in the month of August brought me to this day, to making this podcast, for me to post session 2, first podcast, this recording, because it brought me to the conclusion of this. No matter what you do or how hard you fight for something, if you don't have a good support system of people that believe in your journey, you will get nowhere. But the most powerful thing that I've learned in the month of August that I can give to you is this. If you don't believe that you could do it, if you don't believe in your process, if you don't believe in your dream, and I'm talking about just a little tiny bit you don't believe, like that little itsy bit you don't believe, you will not get anywhere. You have to 100% walk into your purpose as a believer. I'm going to say that again, man. You have to 100% walk into your purpose as a believer. Believing that you can do it. Believing that nothing will stop you. Believing that no matter what, you are going to work hard. Believing that everything that comes with your dream is going to come. But you have to believe. World family, I come to you today as a humble servant of God. I come to you today as friend. I come to you today as love. And I'm telling you from my heart that if you own your story, you own your journey, and you earn your journey, you will make it and you will be okay. Don't live this life by yourself. In the great words of Les Brown, if you fall during your journey, make sure you land on your back so you can look in the direction that you're going back in. Until next time, world family, I love you. Peace. Don't forget, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're listening to this on podcast, share, like, subscribe. The only way these messages get out is by you sharing it. Peace. What's going on, world family? Thank you for checking out Journey of the Mindset. If you're listening to Journey of the Mindset, the podcast, on any of the podcast platforms, you can also see the video on YouTube at 143 Speaks. I appreciate all of your support from my 143 Speaks followers. You guys are amazing. Know that you are loved and your life is love. Love is what guides the world. Until next time, world family, I love you. Stay safe. Peace.